Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Minister of Energy will recall that I rose in this House on November the 3rd to ask her if she was aware of any resignations in any of the agencies for which she's responsible. She rose to state, and I quote, "I'm not aware of any resignations this week." Now, Mr. Speaker, the Balancing Pool sent out a press release dated the very same day, November the 3rd, indicating that 2 of its directors, including the chair, had tendered their resignations. And I understand that they tendered their resignations to this government several days before their press release went out. Will the Minister of Energy clarify for the record when she and her office staff became aware of these resignations from the Balancing Pool?
Minister of Energy.
Thank you for the question. At the time the honourable member asked me, I was not aware. Later that afternoon, I received the letter of resignation.
Given the understanding that the 2 Balancing Pool directors resigned several days before the Balancing Pool sent out a press release regarding their resignations, and that the Balancing Pool was forced to send out their own press release because the government would not announce their resignations, will the minister explain to this House and to all Albertans why this government did not announce their resignations and why it left it up to the Balancing Pool itself to break the news instead?
What's up? Honourable Minister.
Thank you for the question. As I mentioned at the time of asking, I was not aware of any letter. The letter, I'm not sure where it was sent first, but it did make its way to my office later that afternoon. That's all I know, and the reasons given, were given that it was at the end of this month, and that's all I am aware of.
Second supplementary.
Speaker, I wasn't just talking about the resignations, I was talking about the press release. And given the understanding that the 2 Balancing Pool directors who tendered their resignations resigned because they were filled up with this government's political meddling in the affairs of the Balancing Pool, including the NDP's ill-advised PPA lawsuit, will the minister rise to explain how this government justifies its interference in the affairs of the Balancing Pool, an agency that's supposed to be free from political meddling? And can she tell Albertans if the only remaining member of the Balancing Pool has also tendered their resignation? If so, who, if anyone, is tending to this ever-important Balancing Pool here in the province of Alberta?
Minister of Energy.
Thank you for the question. In advance of any resignations we are aware of, we have been we were out getting new applications in for the Balancing Pool and continue to do that. We do have an interim person in place right now until we get that person. If there is another resignation, I'm not aware of it, and I would question why the honourable member across knows this in advance of myself.